Welcome to Heartfelt with Julie Margerison, a space for honest stories, tender truths, and soul-deep conversations. I'm your host, Julie Margerison, and here we explore the questions that stir something real in us. Questions about joy, fear, healing, and the moments that shape who we are. Each episode is an invitation to slow down, go deeper, and hear the kind of stories that remind us we're not alone in this human experience. So wherever you are right now, thank you for being here. Let's begin. Welcome to Heartfelt with Julie Margerison podcast. I am so excited to have Claire here with me, and this is episode 59. And I met Claire at a marketing summit a few Fridays ago, and I was so blessed that Claire sat beside me, and she started up conversation, which was so lovely. And once her mouth opened, it's like, I need to interview her. So I am so excited to see where this is going to go. And Claire is the face of her brand. Claire focuses on empowering individuals, particularly women, to unlock their creative potential and achieve success, both in their personal and professional lives. Through her work, she encourages the use of imaginative thinking as a powerful tool for business strategy, leadership, and overcoming challenges. This is something that really I want to know more about, and I need to go and watch this. Claire has also recently launched a career as a stand-up comedian. Wow, I am going to one of Claire's shows. So welcome, Claire.
Hi, Julian. Thank you so much for inviting me onto your podcast. I'm honored.
It's all mine. I'm just so I've been so excited to see where this is going to go. And after reading your bio, it's like, oh my God, I think we'll be having about 3 interviews to get everything covered, but we will see what unfolds today. Now, Claire, is there anything that you'd like to share before we start the questions?
The only thing I'd like to share is to say thank you again. This is a real treat. And no, let's just jump on in and get this party started.
Yes, that sounds great. It's my pleasure that you gave me your time, and it really brings me joy listening to other people's story. Just as I ask you, what brings you joy, Claire?
Wow. That's a great question, Julie. There are a lot of things that bring me joy, but they're all actually quite little things. Like when I get up in the morning and go outside, I'm surrounded by trees. That gives me immense joy. When I see the ponies, chewing on grass, and that gives me joy. Looking up at the blue sky, those things give me immense joy. But also spending time with the people that I love most, my friends and family. That gives me true joy.
Yeah, beautiful.
Mm.
I can relate to the trees and the blue sky and the family and friends. Not too sure about the ponies. I do enjoy ponies,
I love them.
Do you ride them?
No, the ponies I'm talking about, one is a mini horse. So if you were 5 years old, it'd be perfect. And the other is a Shetland pony, and she's as wide, she is high. And they're just beautiful little creatures, and they greet you with love. And God, you can't get enough joy in life, right? So I just soak it up whenever there's a chance to soak it up. So we all need more joy in our lives. I'm fortunate that I'm very much a glass 3/4 full person, not half full. And I've always been like that. Always. That doesn't say that I don't have times when I'm not happy because I've had plenty of those times. But in general, I'm the eternal optimist.
Oh, wow. So the Shetlands are your pets, so to speak, and the
They
ponies.
live on they're part of the property that I live on.
Oh, right. Yeah.
We've
Yeah.
got a fantastic community where I live, and the ponies are here, and there's chickens and ducks and goats and sheep and dogs, and just it's lovely, absolutely
Yeah.
lovely. I mean, there's
Sounds
nothing like coming home and being greeted by your dog that wags their tail. I mean, if I had a tail, I'd wag it myself. So, I've often thought that'd be a lovely thing to have, wouldn't it?
Yes. Oh, thank you for sharing that. Do you have a fear that you're aware of that's holding you back?
But again, it's a really important question. I do have fears. One of them is that I suffer with social anxiety, which probably sounds a bit ridiculous when you read my bio. I've been a
Are you
professional.
listening to my inner voice?
Yes, I've been a professional singer. I've sung on, I've sung on stages where I've performed in front of 600,000 people at a huge concerts. And I get up and I do presentations. I've now launched a career as a stand-up comedian, but I'm in control of all of those things. So when I get on a stage, that's kind of my happy place. If you asked me in a pub to get up and do karaoke, I'd say no. Mm-hmm. So there is this. So yes, there is a definite social anxiety. I'd much rather after I've done a gig or something, even in the past when I was lead singer of a female band, I'd much rather go back to the hotel and have a pot of tea than party all night long. So I might have been the lead singer of a female rock band and worn leather jeans and all the rest of it, but I just did. It just wasn't in me to live the rock and roll lifestyle. I'm definitely your cup of tea at home with the cat type person. So, but one thing that the comedy is teaching me is that when I'm my comedy character, and her name is Grandma Poppsie, she's not afraid of anything. She will say whatever is on her mind. She does. She's quite naughty in a very innocent sort of way. You can get away with a lot of things when you're an old lady in a pink pom-pom hat. And she is teaching me how to not be so anxious about social gatherings. So I'm learning a lot through my own desire to be a stand-up comedian, which I find very interesting.
Yeah.
So, for instance, you mentioned at the beginning that you and I met at a recent marketing summit, which I went to on my own. And that I was kind of challenging myself to that because normally I just wouldn't do that. But on the way up from the Sunshine Coast to Gympie, I decided that I was going to embody Grandma Poppsie into my heart so that when I got to the conference, that although nobody would see Grandma Poppsie, it would be her energy that would allow me to feel comfortable. And I did. And I made some really lovely friends, including yourself, on that day, which for me is unheard of. So there's a lot to be said for creating your own therapy.
Well, Grandma Poppsie turning up, hey.
Exactly.
I don't, yeah, I've already met her a bit of her, hey? She was
You
sneaking
met
out.
her, you met her, but she was that part of me exists. I'm very I'm not gregarious isn't the right word. I'm an introverted extrovert.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not an extrovert. I'm a very introverted extrovert, but I've got that side of me that loves to perform, and that's whether it is presenting professionally to industry or to women's groups or even coaching individuals, or whether it's standing on a stage as an entertainer. There's that part of me that absolutely loves and feels very comfortable and very at home in that space because I can control that space.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you for going deeper with that, because my inner voice was actually wanting deeper, but I wanted it to come from you rather than me ask you. So thank you very much.
Oh, that's my pleasure.
Yeah.
I think, by it's really important to, I feel, and I do this when I'm working with the art of imagination and helping women with their confidence levels, is that, we carry, as women, we tend to carry a lot around with us that people don't see.
Mm.
We tend to look after everybody else before ourselves, especially if we are mothers. And most people don't see what's going on the inside. And if, when I say, look, I have social anxiety, I've had it all my life, but I have managed to, I'm living my best life. I don't find that I've necessarily lost out on anything because of it. But it's interesting now in my 60s, having created Grandma Poppsie, and I'm learning to embody some of her social confidence, which
Mm.
I might actually build that into a workshop.
Yeah, that sounds great. You heard it first on Heartfelt with Julie Margerison.
You did. You heard it right here.
While we're talking about that, if anyone wants to connect with Claire, her links will be below, and you'll be able to connect, follow her on social media, go and see Grandma Poppsie's like I'm going to be going to. And yeah, I'm just having so much fun, Claire. It's so great.
Oh, so am I.
Have you ever had a life-changing moment that you'd like to share about?
I've had a few, really. Um, Not all of them have been great. Um, I think when I was in my 20s, was I in my 20s? Yeah, I was in my 20s. And my partner at the time got suddenly very, very sick. And we ended up going to hospital. And it was the most surreal experience. You're talking with your partner 1 minute and they've got a raging fever. And then you're in an ICU unit and everything changes so rapidly, and you're surrounded by monitors and machines and beeping and whirring, and my partner was getting hotter and hotter and hotter, and we were doing ice baths, and because I was there the entire time doing ice baths and wrapping them up in ice cold sheets, and the life, I mean, that was life changing in itself, being on that edge of really not knowing what was going to happen next. But the life changing moment was being taken into a side room by the consultant and saying to me, I think you really need to prepare yourself, because we don't think your partner's going to live through the night.
Oh, goodness.
So from, like 6 o'clock in the evening before we get in the taxi, we're talking. We get to hospital, and at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm told, prepare yourself. So then I'm ringing my partner's mother, waking her up and saying, I think you need to come to the hospital. And I'm having to be together for Ilona, my partner's mum. And not knowing what the outcome of the night is going to be. But that really was, when you go to the edge of something like that, being told, because it was such a shock. It as it turns out, my partner survived. They survived because their temperature broke at, I think it was about 5:30 in the morning. But their temperature was so high that they didn't have the instruments to measure that temperature. They tested for everything that you can think of, and there was still no conclusion at the end of it. It was just this raging temperature. And that changed my life forever, because it makes you realize really how fragile life is and this path that we walk, because things can change in a heartbeat, and suddenly you can be plunged into something that is, you don't even have time to wonder what courage is. You just have to deal with it. So that was life-changing. It gave me a real appreciation of how fragile life is and how precious every day is. Not that I live every day thinking, oh God, I've got to make the most of every moment in the day, because if you did that, you'd go crackers. But in being grateful for every day. And thankfully my partner pulled through and survived. But it was a horrible time.
Yeah.
Another life-changing thing was very recently, when I became part of Lionhearted Foundation's 500 Mums, which is a project helping 38 beautiful orphaned children in Uganda. And they've been gathered together by a young woman called Serena, she was also an orphan street kid as well. She's only in her early 20s now, and she started something called the Home of Good Children. And so now 500 mums, and we are helping build a brick home, a proper orphanage home for these children, and a school through fundraising. And what really changed my life was 3 days ago, I got a video message from the children, because we're doing this thing as well called 500 Days of Love, which is you send a message, just make it on your phone and minute long, and then just send it. Funnily enough, in Uganda, they have much better Wi-Fi than we do here, and they don't pay a fortune either for their internet. And Lionhearted sent a whole load of phones and iPads out to these kids. Anyway, I sent a message to them, and I sent it in Luganda, which is the most common language in Uganda. And it was only short. I just said, I love you very much, and God is blessing you with peace. Now, the word peace in Luganda is very, very important to the people of Uganda, just that word, peace. So I had done a bit of research. And then I got sent the video reply from these kids, and they're looking at the phone, and there's 38 of them all gathered around. And they're looking at it, and I'm saying, hello, I'm Mama Claire, and I'm really pleased to meet you. And then I spoke in Luganda. And the joy that exploded with these 38 children, I cannot explain how that made me feel, but it was life-changing. These children have nothing. They have nothing. They go to school, and they have to have uniforms to go. You can't go to school without a uniform in Uganda. So, everything gets scrimped and saved, and they want to learn, and they want to do well. And And then here they are sending me this message, and um, they've given me a name in Lugandan, and it's Mulungi, which means beautiful.
Oh,
How can that not change your life?
yeah, isn't that amazing?
So there's plenty of room for other women to become part of the 500 Mums movement. You just need to Google it, 500 Mums, or just Google Lionhearted Foundation. And so, as you can see, it's made a huge impact on my life.
Yeah.
Knowing that we can make a difference to the lives of some children who knows what they will achieve in their lives.
Mm,
Great things.
that's right. That's right.
So,
Thank you for sharing, and I'll certainly do my research and have a look at that. Thank you very much. Has there been a moment that you wish you could freeze in time?
ooh, would that be when Johnny Depp took my hand and held it? Well, actually, I held onto his hand in order, I can't even say the word because I'm now getting all kind of like remembering it all again. I probably didn't let it go when I should have let it go. I held it
It
for
was stuck.
an inappropriate amount of time. So that was one moment, and there's a whole other story behind that. Probably, if there was one moment, it would be when my mum came to see me perform in my rock band. And
Oh,
she borrowed my Dr. Martin boots, and somebody put a leather jacket on her. She was like well in her 60s at this particular time. I'd probably freeze that moment.
oh,
My
beautiful.
mum's no longer with us, so I'd
Yeah,
probably go back to something like that because it was a wonderful moment. Yeah,
so lovely. Do you have a trigger that you're aware of that you'd like to share about it?
yeah, I do have triggers. I do have autism. Um, uh, it's I see it as my superpower because I have one of those brains that just loves information. And so when I'm working with my clients in research and development, I'm like a sponge, I just soak up. But the flip side of that is I have triggers. And one of those is excessive noise and also bright lights. So, yeah, sometimes that's can be a bit of a pain in the neck. Um, Inappropriate, really loud noises, unexpected noise. You know, those are the sort of triggers I have. It's yeah, but all in all, I wouldn't change. I wouldn't change anything about being autistic. It's you know, you have to learn as an adult. It's obviously much easier to learn about how to deal with your triggers. I work with my friend Callie Marshall. She runs a company called Sensory Superheroes, and which is geared towards families whose children are neurospicy. And Callie and I are working on a project at the moment that's called Safe to Be, and it's safe to be you. And we're building a course at the moment that we hope will help people understand more about how triggers work in the 8 senses and the best way to help children navigate those so that there's a better outcome for the family and the child, because
Yeah.
meltdowns can be really hard. really hard
Hmm.
on everybody, child and family. And if you can learn to understand what is happening in a neurospicy brain, and what the triggers are, then it gives you so much more power to be able to deal with those positively and to get over them much more quickly. So
Hmm.
I love that work. And that's something that we're really excited about to bring to the table for the neurodivergent community, and also you know, the non-neurodivergent community, because through understanding, and look, let's face it, all of us at some point or another will have a trigger, something that will just be unacceptable, and it can set off a chain reaction in ourselves. So learning any sort of formula or method or structure that can help us deal with those things, I think is great for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. If a genie jumped out of the bottle and granted you one wish, what would that be, Claire?
Um, it would be to have afternoon tea with my mum.
Mm.
I really, really miss my mum. And I really miss, there are so many things that I want to ask her that I forgot to ask while she
Mm.
was still alive. Like, how did you make that amazing bread sauce, mum? Like, that's very English, bread sauce, and you have it with chicken. But it's like, I've tried and tried, and I get close, but not close enough. And how did you get your potatoes, your roast potatoes, so crispy? Like, it's not all about food, of course.
I'm sure there's other questions.
Um, but I would love to spend, I'd love to spend, some more time with her, especially um, as my life has gone on, and how my life has developed and I've grown, and the successes I've had. I would love to be able to share that with her in a conversation like we're having now. But I feel her around me.
I
She
was going
hasn't.
to say, do you feel her presence?
Yes, she's never left me,
Mm.
never.
Yeah.
But I just love to. There are things that I want to ask her, uh, and some are about food.
Yeah. What is something that you've never said out loud, but you wish someone would ask you about?
Oh, blimey, that's a question. Ooh,
It's okay if there isn't anything coming or you want to come back to it.
probably millions of things that I wish somebody. It's probably things that I wish people had asked me when I was a kid, rather than as an adult. Um, yeah, maybe come back to that one.
Yeah, no worries. When was the last time you truly felt seen, and what was it about that moment that has stayed with you?
Oh my gosh. Well, it depends if you're talking about me or Grandma Poppsie, because as me as Grandma Poppsie, um, when I get on stage, I feel truly seen, because it's my job to make people laugh. Um, Other than that, I have such good friends um, in the Lionhearted Foundation, which is it's a women's organization. Um, and for the first time, really, in my life, I have got a really incredible group of female friends who accept me exactly as I am, and who see me and who understand me. Um, and I see them, and I see them too. So and this has only been in the last 2 years.
Okay,
By my group of friends, I feel seen and heard.
beautiful.
And it's also, I don't know about for you, Julie, but I still struggle with taking compliments and being told that, you know, you're this or you're that, or lovely things. One, I'm not used to it. And I'm getting better at it. I am getting better at it because I believe it now.
Beautiful. Yeah.
So, you know, and I'm so grateful for that. So thankful, you know. So the last time was probably 3 days ago.
Yeah, when you got that video.
3 days ago. And before that, it would have been on Saturday before that, and the Wednesday before that.
Lovely.
Yeah, so I do feel seen and heard, and it's so important. But in order to do that, you have to be prepared to be vulnerable. And to be prepared to be vulnerable, you have to trust the people that you're with. And to trust the people that you're with, that investment is, especially, you know, if you've been hurt previously or trust has been broken, it's quite an incredible thing to be in a safe, feel in a safe space with people that you can trust. And if I honestly don't think, if I hadn't found Lionhearted and Jeanette Allen Hill, who's the founder, I would probably still be wearing my heart on my sleeve and still, you know, putting a lot of energy sometimes into people that just end up throwing it back at you and it not being so great.
Yeah.
But when you are seen and heard and you are given that space to be you, then that is the most wonderful gift.
Yeah.
It is the most wonderful gift, because then that allows you to, for me anyway, my experiences, that has then allowed me to really discover who I am, and that it's okay to be me. I don't have to pretend that I'm anything other than I am. I don't have to impress anybody. It doesn't matter that nothing matters, because it's the essence of me and my heart that is important. And that's what has been seen and heard. And so I just, one wish would be that all women can experience that.
Yeah.
Well,
So do you
people.
feel like you've got that through joining Lionheart, or had you felt feeling that before you joined Lionheart?
No, it's literally because Lionhearted is it's a safe space. I mean, look, there are a lot of women that go to Lionhearted workshops, lunches, 3-day seminars, etc., etc., and not all of them stay within that network. People come and go, but I have found a wonderful core group of women that have, and it's not one way, it's two ways, because it allows for that development of friendship and relationship on a much deeper level, which also allows you to understand more about who you are, your capacity to care about somebody else, your capacity to share your life, and also to learn that it is okay to be told that you are a good person, that you're loved, that you're capable, that you're, and to just accept that. And by accepting that, you can accept, I'm British, obviously, although I'm an Australian citizen. Um, but it's that whole thing. The British thing is, stiff upper lip and never blow your own trumpet, never say you're good at something. Whereas I've learned that actually say you're good at these things, say you're good. It's not about blowing your own trumpet. It's not about big noting yourself. But if you're good at something, celebrate it.
Yeah, that's right.
And
Yeah.
if the people that you are with are good at things, celebrate them too.
Yeah.
Celebrate their wins, celebrate their talents. And so I spend most of my time celebrating now, Julie.
Beautiful. Beautiful. If you could send one message back to your younger self, message but not advice, what would that be, Claire?
I'd say, go you good thing. I can remember from when I was about 4.5, 5, and I had very, very strong opinions at a very early age. And I was very sharp on what was right, what was wrong, and I had very strong beliefs, and none of that has really changed very much. I was brought up to believe that I could be anything, do anything, and whatever it was that I wanted to do with my life, as long as I wasn't hurting anybody else, was great. So I'd say, if I was going to say so, I'd say, you know what? You just keep going as you are, because you're going to have the most incredible life. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do something. Which is what I told my own children. It's what I tell my granddaughters. So, but I never let anybody tell me that I couldn't achieve something if I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Did I mention I'd been a diesel mechanic?
Oh, no, I must get you to fill this bio out again. You should see what Claire has done, and she's forgotten the diesel
Oh no,
mechanic.
look, I had to leave a few things out because it just began to sound like, oh, nobody's going to believe this. But I was a diesel mechanic here on
Wow.
and I gave it up at 45.
Wow.
But
Wow.
I couldn't see myself, repairing trucks at 55. And it's bloody hard work. It's heavy work. So I gave it away.
So was that your main career?
No, I've never had a main career, Julie. I have gone from something to something to something to something to something, opportunities. And it's been wide and varied, and I've done everything to date that I've wanted to do. I have to keep refilling my bucket list up because Johnny Depp was in there for years. But I've done him. I mean, not but I've ticked him off. I've ticked him off my bucket list. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. What does healing look like for you right now?
Yeah, that's a great question. I feel like I'm in the last sort of two years or so been in a process of healing. So healing for me is really getting in touch with who I am and understanding more about. I know that I'm a very capable person. I know that if I put my mind to something, I can do it. I know that if I decide that I'm going to do a project, that I will see it through to the end. So I trust myself implicitly. But there's a lot of things, like the social anxiety, things that I am healing. And it's a quiet healing. It's a day at a time. It's like finding another little bit of wisdom from here and another little bit of wisdom from there, or challenging myself, like coming to the the Southeast Queensland Marketing Summit on my own, walking into a room of people that I don't know and I don't have a purpose, has always been a hard thing. And, many times I've just not gone to things because of that. So, going to that event was that was a really big step. If I'd been there as a speaker, wouldn't have been an issue. But there as a participant was a really big deal. Mm-hmm. So it's a little bit at a time, but each time there's a little win.
Yeah.
I do an internal little happy dance.
Yeah.
It's and what that is doing is it's just filling in the little bits of me to let me become completely whole.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I want. I don't want to have social anxiety. I don't want to be worried about things.
Yeah.
But, lots of women do. Lots of women really suffer with social anxiety. Way, way worse than I've ever experienced. So, yeah, healing. It's a great thing. Do it.
Yeah. Claire, I have enjoyed this immensely, and I just can't wait to physically see you again. And I said we should have dinner. I was just wondering if there was any parting words or something else that you wanted to share that was coming up or that's important for you that you'd like maybe the world to hear. And just remember the links are below if you want to connect with Claire.
Gosh, I think that we're all like follow your heart, follow your dreams, do it. I've done that all my life. I've followed my heart and I've followed my dreams, and my life has, right up to this moment now, has been so rich with experiences. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do something. Just do. If it's something that you really want to do it. Don't wait another day, because, as I said earlier, life, the experience I've had, is fragile, can change tomorrow, and we never know when that might be. So take any opportunity that comes and embrace it. And also check out Lionhearted Foundation. Go and check out 500 Mums. Go and find out about this wonderful organization for these 38 orphans in Uganda, because we can all do something to make somebody else's life a little better. Doing so,
beautifully said.
In doing so, it makes our life that much richer.
Yeah, thank you.
I think that's it.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for sharing this moment with us. I hope something in this conversation stayed with you, opened something up in you, or simply made you feel seen. If this episode moved you, feel free to share it with someone who might need it too. And if you'd like to continue the journey with us, be sure to subscribe and stay connected. Until next time, take care of your heart and remember, your story matters. Thank you so much, Claire. I just really enjoyed chatting with you.